folks, how's it going? I hope you're well and welcome to this video. In this video I cover a second mock engine that I've built, which is this little fella, the yellow steam train. Now I'd love to say it was based on something, but it's more inspired by various shunters I've seen. I didn't really have much time to work on it, and I just wanted to make sure I got a second engine built and that it was a steam train. So I started building and messing about with different techniques and came up with this, and yeah, made it yellow just to brighten things up as well. So I was going to have this engine carrying freight as well, but I realised that the purple carriages from my blue Emerald Knight would actually look quite good with the yellow, so I've teamed it up with the carriages. So I've got a small passenger train now as well. It sometimes struggles carrying sort of like 3 carriages that I've tried it out with. I'll have it running later on in the video and you'll see, but yeah, I might just have it running with 2 carriages because it can handle it. It's only an M motor inside, but well, let's have a look at the engine and then you'll see it running. Now here we have the engine itself, inspired by various old shunters of the past. Like I said, it's not based on any specific thing, but kind of roughly looks like a steam train really. When I built it, once I'd finished it and everything, it did remind me of sort of like the 4.5 volt trains of the past that Lego used to do. And the power functions of the battery and the IR receiver are in the carriage here behind it. It's just the motor that's inside. I did try and fit lights, but it's just too tight a fit for all the cables and everything like that. Now, one difference that I made from the Class 8 shunter, which is the British Rail Class 8 shunter. If you haven't seen the video on the Class 8 shunter, I'll put a link in the description down below. You can take a look at that. But it is slightly longer, so, and I've moved the gears that actually drive the wheels, so that's got moved to the front, and this is slightly longer. So the Class 8 shunter, this coupling rod here is actually 9 holes long, whereas this one is 11, so it's slightly longer. That has caused a slight problem actually when it goes through sort of wiggly bits of track. Because this is so far out, it's it does tend to cause a few issues when it's turning and pop the thing off the track. But if it goes through slowly, then it's okay. But yeah, that's the one downside of it. So I'll have to try and find a way of getting the buffers to move, just so it gets a bit more agile, I suppose. Otherwise it's going to come off. But on normal corners, on the normal track and the normal corners that Lego provide, then this is fine. It does work. It's just can be a bit funny sometimes though. And I can actually show you inside it, because this one is a lot easier to take apart. So if I show you this, then you can see the M motor inside there, or at least the gear that's attached to the M motor, and all of this is just brackets and everything like that. So I've got the top there and the side with the brackets. We'll take this roof bit off as well. There you go, the M motor in there. Now the one thing with the M motor is it is just held on by clutch power just at the bottom. So I am expecting this to pop off every so often after a while, after the clutch power kind of just works its way free. But it does work for the moment. It is capable of pulling 3 carriages, so that's good enough for the moment. But these panel bits as well, they just come off like that. And then I can fit them back on. And then the cab just at the back, well, that's brick built and is big enough for a minifigure. As you can see, is my minifigure, my sig fig is just sitting in the cab. Now the back here, it's theoretically that would have coal in it, wouldn't it really? It's but I haven't added any real detail to the cab. I'm okay with that. It looks good enough for me. Maybe I'll work on the details eventually at one point, but for the moment, that's good enough. And then the boiler, or the detail of the boiler tank, just sits at the front. And it's just good enough to hide all the details, so you can't see any of the panels. There's no gaps there. There you go, there's the little yellow engine that I've built, the second mock engine, which I was built especially for Philly Brickfest. I'm really happy that it came together. It was all done in the space of a week, so I'm especially happy because of that. Not based on anything, but yeah, I like the look of it, especially in the bright yellow, and it certainly goes with the purple carriages as well, and it certainly brightens things up and complements all the other colours of the engines that I've got. So thanks for all your suggestions for other engines that I could possibly build, and if you have got an idea then you can always put it in the comments down below. But if you've enjoyed this video then give it a thumbs up, and you can always click subscribe to see more, and I will see you in the next one.